Okay, the last tool on the menu here is the Annihilator, made by Dead On. This incorporates many of the features that you saw on the Stanley tool, but in a little bit different geometry. We have a demolition hammer on this end. We have a nail puller on this end, nail puller / pry bar. We have a very steep axe head here. You can see that angle. It's a rather steep angle, but for soft material, drywall, this is going to punch right through that. So if you hit a material, say drywall, since that's a very common urban material, this is going to tend to punch through, and this axe is going to tend to wedge itself down through the material. I really like that. If the hammer's not working for you, you can switch it around and use it this way. You've got a board bender here that's going to work for both 1x2s, 2x4s, and 2x6s. Insert the board this way, it's going to give you a twisting force, or even a picking up force. You can actually pick up 2x4s, 2x6s, and move them out of the way. Now this other end is kind of interesting. We've got a pointed end down here with a plastic cover on it. Actually, it's like a real hard rubber or a soft plastic. And this end is pointed. Now in here you can see that it's got a nail puller, and it also has a wrench. I forget what size this is. I'll annotate it. I went to do that and forgot, and it's not listed on the package. But I kind of like this pointed end. It's good and bad. It's good in that this is going to penetrate through material like better than any of these other tools that I have. If I hold it like this, I can drive this into drywall, and it's going to go in real easy. It's going to make a great glass breaker. Not that the others wouldn't, I mean, but this is going to make a little bit better one. It's really kind of forged down to a point there, as you can see. So it's going to be real effective. If that hits a pane of glass or safety glass, it's going to go right through it. Another thing that I found out about this, I took it out to my gas valve on my house, and this fits a gas valve. So you can actually shut off a standard oval-shaped gas valve with this tool. They didn't list that in the package, but when I saw the shape, I thought, hey, it might work, and sure enough, it did. It has a much more substantial crushing force than a large survival knife. I mean, they're not even in the same league. Now this tool is about 3/4 of a pound lighter than the Stanley demolition hammer. This one comes in at 3.7 pounds. And I think I may have found just the right mix of weight and capability. Now again, I haven't really tested this thing very hard. I've knocked it around a little bit just to kind of see how it feels in the hand, and in the way that it impacts boards, 2x4s, stuff like that. And it seems very effective. To me, I swing it a little bit better than I do that 4.5 pound hammer. Now, you know, a big 225 pound guy, 6'4", he might like the other hammer. He might be able to utilize that extra weight. For me, I'm primarily going to be using this one-handed, and I can manipulate this one a little bit better. You can see it has I think it's a powder coating, a black powder coat over all the metal portion here, and then it has a plastic insert over the handle here. Now you can see I've already taken off this plastic piece that covers this pointed end. So again, that's a plus and a minus. With this plastic piece on there, it's not likely going to come off, but once you do take it off and the adrenaline's going, it's easy to misplace. It's easy to drop that. So once I lose this, I'll probably start working on some kind of a sheath that will cover up this end and will shock cord itself to the top of the tool here. So I'll just remove the shock corded piece, and it can hang from this loop right here. Now, one word of caution, this tip here is pointed to the back. So if you're walking through somewhere with this out in front of you, you know, this is pointed backwards. So if you're a naturally clumsy person, some people are, I would strongly consider the other one, the Stanley hammer. I do like that it has this, but it's something that you'll have to be cognizant of. Okay guys, let me give you a quick tour here. Wouldn't you know it, I forgot my tripod plate that goes onto the tripod here. So I've had it resting here. A little unconventional, but you have to make do sometimes. I try to remember so many things. I even carry a spare. I just didn't have my spare with me. Oh well, live and learn. Here's the back of the vehicle, and here's the various tools. You can kind of see them. You know, a bit of a size comparison there. Here's the Dead-On Annihilator, the Stanley Demolition Hammer, the 17-inch Stanley Wrecking Bar. This is the 5/8 inch thick, 24-inch long gooseneck crowbar. I still like to call it the Half-Life multi-tool. And here's my old Mac tool. So I'm kind of leaning towards these two right now. I'm not sure how much time I'll be spending with these various tools, but wanted to show you these all lined up. And then I wanted to show you what I've been carrying just experimentally to see how it works. Okay, you guys, I've got this inexpensive tool kit here. It's a driver kit, very small driver, nothing substantial. I've got flat blades, Phillips, some Allens, and some Torx in there. I've been carrying this a lot, and boy is it handy for little gunsmithing things, stuff like that. If I head out to the range or something and don't have a screwdriver, I've always got one in my backpack. My next one is my SOG multiplier, multi-tool. You've seen this, it's got its own video, I think 2-part video. Working it here with one hand. These are things that I've been carrying every day. I've recently added this to the mix. This is a heavy-duty wire cutter. Basically, you know, a real sharp set of shears. And I've been using these a bit just to test them out, and they've been going through every material that I've cut like butter. It goes through chain link, old chain link fence that I've tested, barbed wire. It'll go through bicycle cable like it's nothing. That's traditionally steel lined hose, coiled hose, and it goes right through that stuff. So a very capable tool. It will save the edge on a survival knife greatly if you do your real heavy cutting with something like this. And then most recently here is the Dead-On hammer. So there is a point in our urban EDC kit that we do have to stop. It's just the way it works with weight versus performance. So this is what I'm carrying right now. I debated going back and forth over a big set of pliers and these cutters. Because I've got a pretty decent set of pliers on the SOG tool, I decided to go with these wire cutters. These are inexpensive. They were about 16 bucks on sale at Lowe's. So right now this is my urban kit. I guess I could throw in my knife there to go with the kit. But that's my main tools that I'm carrying right now. I find that this is big enough to be pretty effective, still small enough to fit in my kit. Well guys, that's about all I've got for you right now. The sun's setting and it's lighting up the mountains back here just beautifully, so I think I'll stop and show that to you. Just gorgeous tonight.
开锁培训视频教程大全，是有多位开锁专家经过几十年的时间，收集国内外全部开锁资料，培训教程及视频，资料更新及时，是目前国内开锁教程最全、最新、排名第一的开锁资料网站。本站珍重承诺，您需要的资料这里没有，退全部费用。您看视频后学不会开锁，退全部费用。您学的资料不是最新视频，退全部费用。通过视频学习开锁知识，可在短短1周时间快速掌握开锁技术，自己开店当老板。日进斗金不是梦。